What if I told you the most famous address on Earth just got demolished? Not renovated, not restored. Surgically dismantled to make way for a new American landmark in broad daylight while tourists watched from the street. This is the White House State Ballroom, the most ambitious construction project ever attempted at a sitting president's residence. Here's the crazy part. Workers are building something beneath it that the government has never fully disclosed to the public. Wait until you hear what they're putting underground. For over 2 centuries, one problem has quietly limited every American president. The White House cannot host a proper dinner. The East Room, the grandest formal space in the executive residence, seats 200 people. 200, the most powerful diplomatic address on the planet, with a guest capacity smaller than most hotel conference rooms. When the list outgrew those walls, the solution was a tent. A literal event tent, erected on the South Lawn, rented fresh for each occasion. Over $1 million per event. A former White House chef publicly described the experience as embarrassing. Guests sat elbow to elbow. Summer heat, uneven ground. The most consequential diplomatic setting in the world held together by catering grade canvas. 6 state dinners under the previous administration were held outside in those tents. Every one of them cost the same as a small construction project, just to set up and strike. That problem had no elegant solution for 230 years. In July 2025, that changed. The announcement came directly from the White House. Demolish the East Wing entirely. Replace it with 90,000 square feet of new construction. A grand state ballroom at its core. A glass bridge connecting it directly to the executive residence. Bulletproof glass walls. A drone-proof roof. Seating for exactly 99 guests. The project would be privately funded. No congressional appropriation. Construction to begin September 2025. Architect Jim McCreary got the call. His firm, McCreary Architects, operates out of Washington, D.C., and has spent decades specializing in classical design, buildings that look like they have always existed. Georgian symmetry, limestone facades, proportions drawn from centuries-old rules of form. Now he was being asked to design the largest addition ever attached to the White House, visible from the National Mall, scrutinized by every architectural historian in the country. And it had to look like it had been there since 1792. McCreary described it as an opportunity to bring something beautiful and necessary to the people's house. His engineering partners were Clark Construction on the build and A.E. Combe leading structural and systems engineering. Serious firms with serious track records. What they walked into that September was unlike anything in their combined portfolios. The East Wing was not just a wing. It was 120 years of layered American history. Originally constructed in 1902, rebuilt and expanded during World War II under President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the East Wing housed the office of the First Lady, the White House Visitor's Office, and in its deepest subterranean levels, a classified presidential bomb shelter. FDR ordered that shelter built immediately after Pearl Harbor, excavated secretly, hardened against aerial attack, used by every president since. A piece of wartime infrastructure buried under one of the most visited buildings in the world. Demolishing the East Wing meant going through all of it. Secret tunnel connections. Cold War-era communications infrastructure. Classified mechanical systems layered across 8 decades of presidential administration. The construction team wasn't just tearing down a building. They were carefully excavating the classified operational history of the American executive branch. By late October 2025, the East Wing was gone. A hole in the ground at one of the most photographed addresses on Earth. And underneath that hole, a new chapter of classified infrastructure was about to begin. Here's what makes this project unlike any other construction job in America. The subterranean security structure being built beneath the ballroom has a cost that has not been publicly disclosed. It will be funded separately with public funds. Its specifications are classified, but what has been confirmed publicly is remarkable enough. The roof system is drone-proof, integrated countermeasure infrastructure, invisibly built into a classical architectural crown designed to match the White House aesthetic. The building has secure air handling systems with biodefense capability. Secure telecommunications are embedded throughout. Underground, a hospital-grade medical facility is under construction. A bomb shelter. A secure command and communications center. President Trump described it this way: think of that, for the safety of the president. What looks from the outside like a ballroom extension is, beneath the surface, one of the most hardened structures ever built on American soil in peacetime. The engineering teams at AECOM are managing two completely separate construction programs simultaneously. Above-ground classical architecture, ornate interiors, chandeliers, limestone columns, bulletproof glass walls that still have to look like elegant windows. Below ground, classified defense infrastructure with specifications drawn from the highest levels of presidential security planning. These two programs share the same foundation. Every above-ground design decision is constrained by what is being engineered beneath it. Now comes the part that nearly stopped everything. The money. At announcement in July 2025, the project was estimated at $200 million, privately funded. Donations from corporations and individuals. By October 2025, the estimate had grown to $300 million. By end of October, $350 million had already been raised and committed. By December 2025, the official estimate reached $400 million. The scope had expanded as the full picture of what was going underground became clearer. On October 22nd, the White House released a public list of corporate and individual donors, technology companies, financial institutions, private citizens. The donations were placed into the National Park Service gift account, which operates as mandatory spending, a funding mechanism typically used for conservation gifts and public land improvements, now being applied to presidential residence construction for the first time. This was new legal and financial territory, and it triggered an immediate response. The National Trust for Historic Preservation filed a federal lawsuit in December 2025. Their argument was structural, not political. No existing statute clearly grants a president the authority to demolish a nationally significant historic structure and replace it with privately funded new construction without congressional authorization. The East Wing was part of a designated historic landmark. The process, they argued, had skipped mandatory reviews. Federal Judge Richard Leon rejected the initial challenge in February 2026, ruling that the preservationist group hadn't brought the right legal cause of action. The trust amended its lawsuit with sharper grounds. On March 31st, 2026, Judge Leon issued a preliminary injunction. Work had to stop. The project required congressional approval before proceeding. The administration appealed immediately. Their argument in court laid out the classified dimensions of the project in unusual public detail. The ballroom, they stated, was vital to the safety and security of the president, his family, and his staff. Halting construction meant leaving classified security infrastructure incomplete. The underground systems, the medical facility, the secure communications. These couldn't simply be paused mid-installation. The Court of Appeals allowed construction to continue while the legal process played out. The injunction was temporarily suspended pending further review. As of April 2026, the cranes are still moving. Back on the construction site, the engineering challenge doesn't stop for courtrooms. The White House sits on centuries of layered infrastructure, water mains that predate the Civil War, electrical systems accumulated across a dozen administrations, telecommunications hardened repeatedly through the Cold War. Workers are carefully threading new systems through all of it. The glass bridge connecting the ballroom to the executive residence is not decorative. It is a controlled access security corridor. Every linear foot must meet presidential protection specifications while looking from the South Lawn like a graceful architectural transition between two classical buildings. McCreary's team designed it as a transparent connector, natural light, open sight lines, that simultaneously functions as a hardened threshold. The engineering inside that bridge involves blast-resistant glazing systems, structural steel framing designed to prevent forced entry, and climate systems that maintain the internal environment of the executive residence independently of the new wing. The bulletproof glass walls of the ballroom itself are a similar challenge. Structural glass at this scale, carrying load, resisting ballistic impact, providing the natural light that defines the interior, requires custom fabrication at specifications that do not exist off the shelf. Each panel engineered specifically for this application. No standard product catalog covers what McCreary's design requires. The ballroom floor plate at its core covers approximately 25,000 square feet. The full 90,000 square foot figure covers the entire new East Wing complex. Offices, event support infrastructure, security operations space, and the classified levels below grade. This is where it gets interesting. Design changes happen publicly, mid-project. Early renderings included a large ceremonial staircase on the south facade, architecturally prominent, visually commanding, and structurally useless. There was no entrance at the top. You could not actually enter the building from it. In early April 2026, the staircase disappeared from the plans. An uncovered porch was added to the west side instead. No formal announcement. The White House confirmed the president had considered feedback from planning commissions and the public. Jim McCreary's design continued to evolve as construction advanced. The Commission of Fine Arts reviewed it. The National Capital Planning Commission reviewed and approved it in April 2026 after considering further design refinements. The bones of the building were already in the ground. The character was still being resolved above it. That is the nature of construction at this scale. The structure goes up while the design is still being finished. Decisions made in an architect's office in Washington ripple immediately to a construction crew working 200 meters away at the most scrutinized building site in the country. The target completion date is 2028, before the current presidential term ends. That deadline drives everything on that site, every procurement decision, every schedule, every engineering shortcut that cannot be taken because the building will exist for centuries after the people who built it are gone. FDR's wartime bomb shelter lasted 80 years before this project touched it. Truman gutted the entire White House interior in 1950, stripped it to its exterior shell, rebuilt everything inside, relocated the first family to Blair House for 4 years, because the floors were structurally compromised. Historians criticized it. Preservationists objected. The renovation happened anyway. The White House that exists today, the interior every visitor and every president experiences, is Truman's building, not the original. The East Wing being built right now will be this generation's permanent addition to that structure. The bulletproof glass, the classified underground infrastructure, the 999-seat ballroom with its chandeliers and ornate columns, the drone-proof roof invisible behind classical stone, all of it designed to look like it was always meant to be there. Jim McCreary has one job above all others: make a building that history forgets was ever added. The construction keeps moving. The legal challenges continue. The classified infrastructure goes deeper underground every week. Some buildings take decades to be understood. This one is being built in real time at the address the whole world is always watching. Guys, if you like such deep dive amazing videos, then hit like and subscribe. The most extraordinary construction sites on Earth are just getting started.